So what is up, everyone? Okay, today's trade day is going to be fast because it's just 8:30. I mean it's around like 11 a.m. EST, and I didn't I'm putting it so it's early because the day is over for me because I took two losses, one in EU and one in GU. So my rule management says that when I take one loss in EU, I have to stay away from EU. And what if I take one loss in NQ, I have to stay away from NQ. And I took a loss in both. So I did a big mistake, and actually that mistake could be the blessing in disguise because what actually happened is we had the day was pretty simple. We in EU. Okay, we were okay. Let me just explain it with here. Okay, we were somewhere around here. We had this SMT. Okay, we had this SMT. We had this sweep and the SMT, and we already took Asian lows. And we were pushing higher. We were at like this area. Okay, I mean we were pushing higher. So this 4 hour fair value gap looks like a very nice drawn liquidity, and it also has London highs gap. So that's like my first scenario, and that my first scenario is trying to capture this high, move higher. Okay, so basically where I entered is when I had this close above. I mean when I had this high taken like this, and we had this move higher, right? I took my entries somewhere around here. My first trade I took somewhere around here. This was stronger at that point as well, and my SL was below this protected low, and my TP was like one is to some one is to one ish. Okay, so this was kind of like my entry. I took it a little bit like this. So basically, this was my kind of entry. So what actually happened is one mistake that I did is when we had like 918, right? I was entering on EU, but at 918, we tapped into the 1 hour fair value gap in GU. So which means we could have a big move lower. So that move lower could take us out. So at this point, it is very valid to move my stop loss to break even. And I actually that's very valid, but at that time I even put that okay. The narrative is for biases 4 hour fair value gap is session highs. Narrative is the 1 hour fair value gap. Okay, we had this 1 hour fair value gaps rejection low, which is like getting respected. So the 1 hour fair value gaps context is somewhere around this. Okay, so basically the 1 hour fair value gaps rejection low was also doing that work. So 1 hour fair value gap is working. So I want the 1 hour fair value gap is my primary narrative. Then I want this market structure to push us higher. Okay, and we were at the start of the New York Open, so I wanted to see that that New York Open move to be this one. So I entered at this point. But the thing was, I'm not like sad with this entry. This entry was pretty good entry. But the fact is, I had to go break even when price entered 1 hour fair value gap in GU, and I didn't do that. So I took a loss in it. Okay. So basically, we had liquidity sweep, we had SMT, we had IFVG, we had clear CAST, we had exponential candle continuation entry at that point. Okay, this entry was good. Okay, this entry was not bad. Definitely, this is a really good entry, and I took an L on this. Okay, I'm happy that I was like not hesitating or not moving SL crazy because after the last days where I moved SL to break even and I got my profits trimmed. I mean I didn't I lost. I mean I went break even on winning trades, so I wanted to not move my SL that much. That's the reason I didn't move it. But the thing is, it's valid to move SL here because when the G hit the 1 hour fair value gap, I should have gone to see here. I put 851. GU hit the 1 hour fair value gap. That's where I see the fair value gap being traced. But I'm not trailing SL. I don't know why I put that because why am I not? We are having something like this which could take us out. It's always better to go risk free like when we have this. Okay. So as I took that L, I can't take another trade in EU, and this was the better trade because we had all this sweep. We have one, two, I mean 1, 2, 3, and sweep it, and a sharp turn, and a CIST probably around here. We had a CIST probably, and an entry that would have been like the highest probability trade. So the what one mistake I'm recently doing a lot is I'm FOMOing into trades. I'm FOMOing into being the part of the move, and I'm forgetting the fact that I need to take trades only at A plus scenarios. So what I'm going to focus from now on is only taking A plus trades. Generally, A plus trades, as my backtesting gathered data says, is when we have a fair value gap and price come into that fair value gap and it give a reversal, and that's like the A plus scenario, because at that point that fair value gap is our context. We have like an active context that when fair value gap price comes to fair value gap, the price wants to take the high. So that's the best context and the highest probability trade. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, okay. So after that, what we are having is the delivery of the scenario. Okay, actually, I got liquidated hard, and then price went higher. So I'm not worried about the loss. I mean, at for a split second, I was so angry, but I'm fine. Okay, it's just lost another loss. It's a blessing in disguise, honestly, because from this loss, I'm learning something, and that learning is not rushing trade, not FOMOing, only waiting for the A plus scenario, not entering on. I mean, not going break even was the real mistake in this trade. Actually, I'm just gonna wait for New York Open to sweep some things and like give me a good scenario. Then I'm gonna enter. That's nice. And then the next scenario happened where we disrespected this 4 hour fair value gap and then price pushed higher. Okay, this is it for EU and GU. Honestly, the delivery was really good, but I just can't fathom the fact that we did that. Okay, so that's it for EU. So let's move to ES and NQ. Uh, okay, one second. So in ES and NQ, we also took another loss, man. I took two losses today. It's like 2% on my account, and this instant account, it's not going the way I wanted it to go, honestly. So what we had is we had Tuesday, we were at the top of this high. We had this drawn liquidity. We had this 1 hour fair gap, which will be the closest drawn liquidity, and this daily high. So what probably is my scenario is we had this London highs get sweep. We want to see a scenario where we take the Asian or London lows. Okay, that was my first scenario, and price actually did that. Okay, what was the thing is, so honestly, let me go here. Let me go to yes, and I'll go to yes. So basically, what we had is at the start of this market, I said we want to see a sweep lower, right? We could have actually taken an entry at this point because we had price come into this 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, fair value gap context, as I said, are the highest probability ones. Okay, and we had this 15-minute fair value gap in E and Q. So what basically happened is price price actually didn't come into this, but it came into this in ES. Okay, so we had this price come into this, and we given 1 minute CAST somewhere around here. Okay, we had like no, we had this, but we actually closed below investing this, and probably waiting for this 3 minute and entry would be like somewhere around like here more probably would be a break even trade actually, because uh this would be kind of like the trade idea actually, somewhere around here. Probably it could have been a win if I was taking 1:1, or else a break even rate, because the SMT happened. So I would have put my SL on break even here at this point, but it's NI open, so it's going to be very volatile. So I don't want to be a part of this trade, which is fine. But the thing is, my second entry, I wanted to see my scenario 3 was we see a break above this high, we want to see price trade into this. Okay, and sub like that. What happened is we saw a break above this high. Okay, we first saw a break above this high at this point, but when we gave this big wick, we also were forming this 15-minute fair value gap. So I didn't want to trade because I want to see price come into this 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, then what happened is 15-minute fair value gap turned into a breakaway gap. When that turned into a breakaway gap, I wanted to look for a continuation entry. So this is my 15-minute leg. So hoping this legs stays, my entry was like this, at this Fair Valley area, like this, and 1:1. This is kind of like the trade that I wanted to take. But what honestly happened is we swept this. Okay, so I don't. Why I'm saying this trade is like a FOMO and actually not a good trade is we were at very high. We were at a very high point, and honestly, I think the best scenario for a good A plus setup is we see a sweep right before our entry. So like maybe this sweep, okay, or this sweep and this CIST could mean something. As okay, like wanting to look for a sharp turn, wanting to look for a sweep before our entry and a sharp turn and then CA and an entry at this fair value gap. Even though this appears less than I want to, this is more probable. Okay, so this is high probability. This is the kind of trade I should enter. This is a lovely trade actually. We swept this size. We didn't want to go into 15 minute, respected this 15 minute. This looks like a single leg also. Okay, we had this 3 minute get inverse like a 3 minute sharp turn. Then price come into this and give a rejection entry here would have also been nice. Here would have also been nice. So at this point, what we are having the TP is close to our prices range. Okay, it's not somewhere very distant. Okay, so this is the better entry that I should have taken because this is an A plus setup and this is not because we didn't have any sweep at our entry. So I'm the liquidity sweep must be active before my entry. So I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to change these rules. Only take A plus setup of the day. Like that, I am going to put no FOMO, no everything, nothing. I will put this. So I'll make sure before every trade I don't do that. See, we took this loss. The previous loss was this. Okay, we lost around $20. We are at like 25%. I mean, we are down 2.5 in our instant funder. Okay, it doesn't look good, but we still have 2.5%, which is two and a half trades. So I'm not like mad or something, but which is fine. Okay, this also is not the strongest trade. See, every trade, it's like we are kind of very high at the point. Okay, I wouldn't like say this trades are this trade is bad. So this trade is also not A plus. Okay, this trade is A plus. It's coming from this fair value gap and everything. But I moved my break even SL to break even, which I shouldn't. Okay, this trade was also we were sweeping into this. Okay, in this fair value. Okay, not bad trade. Okay, this trade, the best trades are the ones that I take from the fair value areas. I'll show you this. Okay. Okay, the win. Let me show you. It's like more than showing it to you. I want to show it to myself. Okay, because this was my strategy back then. 1 year ago, March. Okay, my strategy was fair value gap, sharp turn entry. Fair value gap, sharp turn entry, and this one honestly worked great because when I took some losses, maybe these losses, some losses I could rectify because with the knowledge I have right now, if I compile with this, I'm going to get the A plus setups. Okay, so that's something that I should be working on. Okay, like some areas. Okay, these trades, this trade. If I were just waiting for fair value gap to enter, that would be nice. So how I should look like is, I should only enter on the A plus setup. My drawn liquidity must be a low resistant run, and my narrative should be from a fair value gap, and the trade should be the shorter trade that covers everything. So that should be how I'm going to approach the market from now on, and this I am sure will push my win rate higher. So let's see how it goes. Okay, let's just use whatever I have learned and put that into work. Okay, okay, let's see. Okay, all right, thank you.